Hey guys, it's TheFrXion here, Tag12. However you want to call me, I don't really care. And welcome back to my channel. Now, today I was just playing a little bit of World Tanks, and I just unlocked the Tier 6 British tank destroyer, the Excalibur. This is the first mission reward vehicle for the second campaign, and you can see I just unlocked it. So I thought, why not take a look at the vehicle and maybe take it out for a test drive, because I've just unlocked the Operation Chimera as well. That is going to be pretty nice. I have only about how many orders? Like, I only have 2 orders, I think, in my for um, for 2 missions that I can unlock directly, because I didn't really finish all the missions with secondary achievements. But that's not too important, because we're going to be starting the missions for the Chimera first before we will go back eventually, as soon as we have both the Chimera unlocked and the Object 279. We will go back and redo the other missions that we haven't completed with secondary objectives. So I have not really played the Chimera before. You weren't able to play it in the test server unless you would actually get the missions done, and I haven't really checked it out as thoroughly as I would have liked, to be fair. But here it is. This is the Chimera. It comes with a special kind of camouflage, I think, right here. God, this tank looks super weird. This camouflage, actually, the winter camouflage, looks pretty damn neat. I think if you do complete the secondary objectives as well, and you finish them for like the entire tech tree or the entire campaign or the first stage, you can actually put it on all the British vehicles, all the vehicles of one nation. Now, if we take a look at the Excalibur, we can see that it is a very special kind of vehicle. Now, the front part does remind us a little bit of a very fat tank, but the back part just shows you how large it really is. This is a large vehicle for Tier 6. If we compare it to some other Tier 6 vehicles like the Sherman Firefly, the Firefly is maybe similar in size, at least in length, but other than that, the Firefly certainly is not as large as this tank. Like, the back portion of this vehicle is huge. It's like, I have a feeling it's almost like a gun, like a troop transport. If they had like yeah, there's a hatch in the back. It's probably not a troop transport, or wasn't designed to be one of them, but it certainly looks very odd. There is a 30 cal mounted on top. That is looking very awkward there. Then you have probably another 30 cal, some kind of machine gun right there in the port. And other than that, you're armed with a 76mm gun, which does boast a very nice 13.3 rounds per second. No, actually 13.3 rounds per minute rate of fire. And yeah, this is the main feature. The gun is the main feature on this vehicle. 4.31 reload time. We are going to be kicking all of these guys off this vehicle, and we're going to be putting my best crew on the FV215B183 onto the Excalibur, and then we're going to be seeing how this tank will actually fare in combat. We might take a short sneak peek at the statistics, like the characteristics of the vehicle, and I might just need to check a couple of things before we go right into the game. Now, unfortunately, I'm not sure what is going on right now, but my tank crew is not showing up on the vehicle. So I'm just going to redo the thing real fast. It is a tank destroyer, right? Like, because I'm not sure right now if it's supposed. Yeah, it's a tank destroyer. We have the triangle right there. So right there we go. Should be, yeah, it's the FE crew. Ah, it's the Badger crew. That's why I got confused right there, because I thought it was just the FV crew. Now I have a tier 6 British tank destroyer that's a premium that doesn't make premium credits, but I can still use as a crew trainer. Now, unfortunately, because I don't have as much time on my hands as I had previously, I will not be able to train my crews that crazily far, but it is still a very nice luxurious vehicle, in my opinion, because it's a vehicle that you kind of get by just playing the game, and there are quite a few missions that are quite annoying, but other than that, when I started focusing on the missions, it actually went by rather fast. So it really does help if you have a lot of different vehicle types or vehicles in your garage to do the missions. The ones with artillery were probably the most annoying part, because I don't have artillery for each tree. But there are some missions that you have to do as an artillery. So let's take a look at the characteristics real fast before we jump into a battle. We have a 76mm gun, which does 150 average damage, 165mm of penetration at tier 6. That is pretty phenomenal. A 476mm gun, very nice, high rate of fire, which ends up in a very low reload time, and traverse speed of the gun is 23.47 degrees per second. I'm not sure what the angles are. Oh, the angles are right here. 100 meters, 100 meters, excuse me. 100 degrees to the right, 100 degrees to the left. It's 200 degrees that we can turn. It's a bit more than 180. That's not too bad, not too bad. So obviously you cannot fire behind you, because there's a huge box on your ass that will basically not allow you to turn your turret fully. So yeah, this tank probably will not do very well in close quarter combat, since you have to turn the entire vehicle to be able to shoot at anyone who is coming in from the back. So yeah, that's going to be something we'll have to keep in mind. 10 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty damn nice. 20 degrees of gun elevation, 1.54 seconds aim time. Now we do have the enhanced gun lane drive on it, because I just had it lying around. Why not use it? Dispersion, very accurate vehicle, 0.28 dispersion at 100 meters. Now the gun looks very short. It looks very funny in my opinion, but it looks like it does pack some serious heat. It does fire APCR's premium ammo that have 192mm of pen, so yeah, it's not a huge up. It's 30mm more pen, a little bit less than 30mm, but you know, you should be able to make work with that. Tier 8 and tier 7 are going to be tier 8 is going to be tricky. Tier 7 on the other hand, you should be doing fine. Then 750 structural hit points. Now, yeah, nothing too extraordinary. I think for a tank destroyer at tier 6, that's impressive, to be fair, I think. If we take a look at the Panzer 4, its hit points are capped at, I'm not sure, I have to check real fast, preview the vehicle. 600, so that's 150 plus. And if we check the British tech tree, where they have the Firefly or the other vehicle, what was it called? The Firefly or the Achilles, which is capped at. Now, since it does have a turret, it's going to have more HP if it's upgraded. So we're just going to upgrade it real fast and check it out. 640. So 750 is quite a lot of HP if we compare it to the other vehicles. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty damn nice. Now the Firefly is no tank destroyer. It's a medium tank, but it should have been designated as a tank destroyer, but I'm not sure. Yeah. So pretty nice. Hull armor 50mm at the front, 25 on the side, 15 on the rear. Hull turret 50 on the front, 30 on the side, 7mm on the rear, which is not that important. Actually, the armor is not too bad. I mean, okay, it's non-existent with 50mm, but I thought it was a lot worse. 50mm at tier 6, you'll be able to not get penetrated by high explosive rounds, unless there's some KV2s running around at the front. But still, it's a huge target, so you're not going to be bouncing anything because of your very awkward shape, maybe at the front of your turret a little bit. But other than that, I don't think you'll be bouncing a lot of shells. Mobility, on the other hand, is very, very nice. 50 kilometers of top speed going forwards, 15 kilometers going backwards. Now, that is pretty damn bad. 39.4 degrees per second traverse speed. Not too shabby, not too bad. Mobility is definitely going to be a key element playing this tank, and concealment is going to be quite important as well. Now, I do not have trained my crew top notch on concealment, but I do have a camo net on, so it's going to be improved by a little bit, or by quite a bit when stationary. And spotting wise, 460 meters view range with binoculars and my top skilled crew, which I just put one of the guys or one of the girls right back into the barracks, which was not my idea. So 460 meters view range is pretty nifty. What is the average? What's the standard view range? 360. So we have buffed it by 100 meters, but it's not too bad for a tier 6 tank destroyer. And I'd say, without further ado, let's jump on right into the match and figure out if this tank is going to be worth your time, since you've already been trying to get it for a while. Me included. I've been trying to get this vehicle for a couple of months now. I have not really been actively trying to do the missions. I was just playing the game and I was doing the missions by the side, like, you know, just playing the game and enjoying it or not enjoying it whenever that happened. And I still got it quite early on. I think they released this campaign in summer, so first vehicle of 3 after several months of the patch being out. Yeah, okay, it could have been a lot faster, but still, here we are. I own a vehicle now, and the next one is going to be the Chimera. That's going to be quite interesting to see. So yeah, the queue, unfortunately, does take a while right now. Doesn't look like there are a lot of people playing tier 6 vehicles right at this instance. Okay, first match in the Excalibur, and we're playing against a couple of tier 8s and tier 7s, and it is a map that is very, very closed. We're playing on Lakeville. Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one because we have to snipe, but there are not a lot of bushes we can use, and there are not a lot of options that we have. City probably is not going to be our best shot, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a good first match. Probably not, but we're gonna do our best here. At least there are only 3 tier 8s on each side. M41 walkable lock. So this is the very first game I've played in this tank, so I have to get used to it. We're going to go over here to this one rock right next to the city to be able to actually support our team. That is, there's an E25 that wants to go scout middle, so yeah. This is so awkward. I mean, it has a turret, but it's not really a fully fledged turret. Let's go, T-34, 85. I like the rate of fire. I like the accuracy, and I'm not sure how that actually penetrated anything. And we just got crashed by that guy. The aim time is pretty damn interesting as well. And I would love to know what the shell velocity is actually on these shells. They don't seem to be flying extraordinarily fast, but not too bad either. So yeah, like hidden, it does look very, very special, but it does have a bit of a charm to it because it looks so special and there's no other vehicle just like it. And I think this is a great addition from Wargaming into the missions tab because, I mean, it's a very special kind of vehicle that they've added in. And it probably is not overpowered from the characteristics and the statistics that we've just looked at previously. It does seem to be quite balanced. So yeah, kind of awkward right now. They have control of the city, and we're going to be outflanked by quite a couple of vehicles soon. So what I'm going to be doing is I will take up a defensive position at our base because the majority of our guys decided to push the 1-2 line. Now, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the 1-2 line. Those battles often end in a stalemate, and it just takes just too much manpower to go through there. But maybe it will work out for our team. So look at this accuracy, 0.28 dispersion at 100 meters. Rate of fire also pretty damn neat. Shell velocity maybe not the best, but definitely not too shabby either. Oh god. Camouflage. We're probably lit, but we took out the M41 Bulldog. I just have the feeling that this vehicle, oh my god, it has a tag on the side, which is basically the camo nat, the camouflage nat. It's pretty awesome. I have the feeling that this is the British E25, just a little bit bigger, and it does have the charm of the British people, definitely. Yeah.
Enemy hit.
Unlucky right there. Rate of fire is not as amazing as on the E25, but look at this. Damn good accuracy, very good aim time. Shells fly not too bad either. And 165 millimeters of penetration at tier 6 will be quite enough for those targets. You could see that firing at the T-34-85, obviously there were no tier 8s that we really shot at except for maybe the STRV-S1 and the M41 Walker Bulldog, but other than that we weren't able to test out the armor on the T-54 Mod 1, but oh, come on, man. This E25 just drove right in front of me, and this vehicle, it is large, yes, but the gun is definitely not very high up. So what ended up happening was I did definitely shoot the E25. And there's a IS who's more interested in actually dealing damage to us. What is he doing? He was more damaged, more interested in going after me instead of the E25. Probably because he never saw this vehicle. But there are quite a few people that have gotten it since it came out, so it certainly is. Oh no, I have like 0 armor on top of my vehicle, but we did just. Not sure if he just like hit in front of us or if he hit like the front part of my vehicle, but I'm pretty certain that any artillery piece will be able to penetrate this vehicle, so don't try to get lit. Stay hidden as well as possible. So first game, oh boy. Yeah, the angles. Unlucky for us, we weren't able to penetrate him. 1,639 damage, 149 damage assisted. Doesn't seem to be that bad of a tank. I enjoyed it. It certainly felt slower than I imagined it would be, but at the same time, the gun really does feel very powerful for a tier 6 vehicle. And I think that is exactly the reason why this tank is popular because it does have a very nifty gun. Even at tier 8, we were able to do some damage, although they were not like heavy tier 8 vehicles like the VK 100, what was it, 168 P1 or some shit like that. This vehicle certainly does do some nice damage at range and does perform quite well as a sniping vehicle. Now, I'd say it certainly is no review right here, but it's just a little preview. And I can safely say that the vehicle does actually deliver in the sense of we have 4 more crew members that we can recruit, but it certainly does deliver in the sense of being a reward vehicle and being worth to grind it for. But since it basically is just a way you get it by just playing the game, it certainly is worth your time. It's a nice vehicle and it's very unique, and I think that's what makes it so special. So I hope you guys did enjoy this little video about the Excalibur. I actually wanted to show you guys a gameplay of my Chinese tier 8 heavy tank that is still in stock. I'm not sure what it's called right now. The 110, but that will probably come in later at another date. And yeah, until then, I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.